I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day.
Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Louise and it's been a while. I thought it was about time I have been thinking for a while, it's about time I come on and just had a chat with you, got you caught up on what's going on. I'm going to be all over the place because, you know, I never get the story straight, like just one line. It's going to be all over the place. Lots of things have been happening, I guess, since the last time. I'm trying to think the last time I actually spoke to you. I've been editing my Great Yarmouth videos, so they are coming up. I do know I keep saying that, but I'm too in. I want to just get them all done and then put them up so that it's not like too sporadic, because like you've had the one and that was weeks ago. I didn't realise it had been as long as it had been. Yeah, I've just been struggling to do anything except what I have to do. Like, you know, the other channel, I've committed to my haul every week, so I do my haul every week. It's been an interesting week for me. I actually did have a fall last Saturday. So was going to the swimming pool, and we go fairly early. When I say we, me and Scott go. It's the second time we've been. I really enjoyed the first time. I liked the way I felt physically. I liked the way I felt mentally. So decided let's do it again. And we go earlier in the morning. We're trying to suss out where the best time is because our pool is rubbish. We have one pool. You only have half the pool you can actually use because they've always, literally, from open to close, it's cut in half and the other half is for swimming lessons. So there's like 3 lanes and it's not that long either. So it's not the ideal place, but it's the only place we can get to. So yeah, you know this is going to be a long story. It's always a long story. So yeah, to go there in the morning, we can cut off a big lot if we go along the main road. So we went along the main road and then you have to cross, and there's a little bit of grass, and the grass is all the same level, but clearly there's dips and stuff, and if somebody's going to find it, it'll be me. So I twisted my ankle, went down. Actually didn't think I'd done anything except twist my ankle. I walked to the pool. It was just, I walked slowly because it was, you know, I'd literally just twisted it. Nothing particular hurt, any different to any normal. I've probably caused more problems myself because, okay, so if I tell you, I'm going to jump from thing to thing already. I have a high pain threshold. People don't believe me, but I do have a high pain threshold. So I went to the pool, went swimming, probably shouldn't have done that either. And then we walked home, and yeah, things started to swell and bruise. And you know, I've twisted my ankle as a child. I used to twist my ankle a lot. we had this old caravan. Oh, I don't even know what that noise meant. Don't know what that noise was. That's freaky. Let's throw me off. Yeah, we had a caravan with one of them steps that doesn't attach to the caravan, and for some reason I would always misaim it and twist my ankle and end up in hospital, and it would always be pulled ligaments. And you know, the treatment's the same thing, isn't it? It's just keep your leg raised above your heart. For the swelling, ice it, put a compression bandage thingy on it. So yeah, things got worse. Everything swelled up, everything bruised. So I just phoned into work and said, okay, yeah, I started to end up not being able to walk properly, couldn't put full weight on it. But one of the girls, when I phoned in, said that she'd sprained her ankle, and she said it will get worse over the next few days because I've never sprained it. I've only ever pulled ligaments. And yeah, so we are now, I'm actually recording this Friday morning. So that was last Saturday. And the weird thing is, I can put my weight on it and I can walk very carefully, like very slowly, very paying attention to my steps. But it's the inside bit that was worse. So when you twist it, obviously you think it's going to be on the outside. It's the inside bit that's swollen, and the pain is building up today, which it hasn't been doing that. So now I'm thinking possibly I am going to have to go to the hospital to get it checked out. Not that I think I've done anything major. It's more me being me. I would have gone back to work on Thursday because I could put my weight on it. and I'm still in pain and it's still swollen, but I still would have gone back to work because I've got this strange thing about work. You know, I never have time off work unless it's absolutely necessary, and to me, if I can walk, then technically I should be at work, which I know isn't true. So Corey talked me out of it and said, like, you know, you're going to do more damage, you'll end up having more time off. Now we're on Friday, I'm actually getting built up pain on the inside now, and it's still swollen, and it feels different today. So I'm just going to go and get checked out. More than any other reason is just to get them to tell me, okay, do I need to take more time off? Can I go back to work? Will I make it worse? That's more the real reason. I need somebody to tell me what to do, because I know I would go back too early. And I don't know if it's okay, if I should be doing that or shouldn't be doing it. So I think I'm probably going to go to hospital later on. And I'm going to go to hospital just because I can't, like, I don't know where you are and how you get a doctor's appointment, but you cannot get a doctor's appointment here. I've not even been able to speak to a doctor, let alone see a doctor. And an injury like that needs to be looked at. So the hospital is really the only way to go. And it is an accident. I had an accident. So technically that is the place to go. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I've really got to talk myself into it because I really, really don't want to do it. So yeah, I've had a week off, not being able to do much. It's been awful, hate it, absolutely hate it. Something I've realised though is me being on my own was actually good mentally for me. I've not been thinking about anything. I've been quite zoned out of everything, which is good. So my brain's been given a break from everything, mental health wise. Actually haven't had therapy appointment this week, and I won't have one next week because the therapist had to cancel it. It's legitimate reasons, you know, I know the reasons, but it's none of my business to explain any of that. So I haven't been thinking about mental health, I guess, just bored out my brains. I've watched so much stupid TV. I don't do TV that often. I've watched like maybe I've binged watched 2 series, and I'm so sick of it. So that's the mental health part. Well, that's the physical bit. Mental health is pretty much I'm in a place. So my therapist says right now he thinks I'm starting to get in touch with my subconscious feelings rather than my, you know, our normal everyday feelings. He thinks I'm getting in touch with my subconscious feelings, which is a good thing, but it's painful. Therapy is rough. Not going to say much right now because right now, honestly, my brain's quite zoned out of it all, so it's hard to, and I don't want to start tapping into things and then get myself upset for no reason. I've already done it this morning once because I knew I was going to have a chat with you. So I don't want to start making myself all upset and that for no reason. Plus the therapist seems to think that me talking to you a lot about everything might not be such a good thing. He said he doesn't know. Obviously we'd have to look into that further, but he thinks maybe there's some things that we find out in therapy that I should keep for myself. And I get that. I do have a feeling that when I come on I should share everything because I want people to know that they're not alone with all this. So that's why I try to be very open about everything. But there are some things that maybe we're going to start tackling that I need to not share, which I get. Still going to share most things with you though, because I enjoy talking to you. Me not doing this for so long is, I don't know, I've been shutting off again. That's you know, we've opened up a lot of childhood trauma that I wasn't aware of. It's really tough when you don't know. Like, I always made out my childhood was just a normal childhood, and actually it wasn't. But that was a mechanism I did to be able to deal with it. And it's really tough when you start realising your life isn't actually what you thought it was. Therapy is not easy. Anybody who goes into therapy, don't think it's an easy choice. You're going to go to a therapist once or twice and be cured or healed or whatever the word is you want to use. It's a long, long process. I've been going for months and months and months. We barely scratched the surface. So just want to put it out there. So that's that part. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, so I don't know how my life is going to go. I know I don't want to stay in my hometown. So long term, because nothing is short term. Unless you win the lottery, you can't change things overnight. It's going to take a long time. I definitely want to move away. There's lots of things I need to put in place for that to happen. My original thought was moving abroad. I really feel at home in the Canaries, specifically Gran Canaria. And there's, you know, sometimes you see all these little signs, and there's been a lot of little signs saying that's what I should do. I don't think it'd be an easy process. Don't even know if it'd be something I end up doing. But I did decide, okay, well, if I'm going to take this seriously, I should take a step. And my first step was to start learning Spanish. Let me tell you about the Spanish story, because, you know, this is going to be a long, just chatty vlog anyway. So Spanish, right. I decided, right, that's the first thing I should do. If I've always said, if ever I lived in another country, I've got to learn the language. So, I had applied online. I think it was like through Facebook or something. They said, oh, you know, you can do a free learning course or whatever. So, well, it's a free taster course. So, I applied for it and I got in. And I was so nervous that first week. My anxiety the entire week was ridiculous. I went into the learn, because it was in, it's a room in the, like, so you go to the library and then there's a whole section over the back of the library that's an adult learning place. I didn't even know that was there. And then the lessons would be upstairs, but I didn't know all this at the time. Is all I knew is they said be here at this time. So I went in like 3 or 4 times that week, talking to people, where is it, how do I, you know, get there at that time, and who would I meet, because I just told them I'm nervous, so I want to not have all that anxiety. And they were absolutely lovely in there. So that evening, because it was an evening appointment, which I wasn't pleased with because I get up so early, you know, I'm up at 3:45 and I think it started at 7 to 8 o'clock. See, this was a few weeks ago, because like I said, we haven't chatted for a while. So I was walking towards the library and I saw a man go up the slope, because there's stairs in the slope, but you can't get up the stairs because the pavement's all broken and stuff. So I saw him going up the slope, went to the door, stood there for a minute, turned around, walked back. And then as I'm getting closer, another woman did the same thing. She walked away though. He was still sitting outside. So I walked up the slope like everyone else, and the doors didn't open. I thought, oh God, how do I get in there? Okay, there's a back way. So I thought, okay, I'll go around the back way. Maybe because it's later, we can get in the back way. No, you can't go in the back way either. And I was so nervous, thinking, okay, I'll wait. Maybe a tutor will turn up or something like that. And I went round to the other side and that man was still there. And I thought, no, I'd had a message from Scott right before saying, you know, because he knew I was nervous anyway, you know, I'm proud of you, and, you know, go in there with confidence, I know you can do it. And I thought, no, be confident, right? So I just started talking to this man, and I have never done that. I have never, off my own back, just gone and started speaking to him. And I was so elated that I even did that. Anyway, it turns out there was people in there, but they just didn't unlock the door, and we went in. We was late. We'd been given this message, and apparently other people had been given it at a different time, and so we went in late, so I'm already nervous. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm thinking, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what you're talking about. How am I supposed to learn this? I don't want to be here. I'm uncomfortable. I'm just going to leave. And I thought, no, just stay till the end. If nothing else, stay till the end. And I realised about halfway through, I was smiling. I was engrossed, and I was never a school person. Totally engrossed in, and I was thinking, just dawned on me, I'm like enjoying this. If nothing else, even if I don't learn Spanish, I need to sign up for this course just to get out the house. And I was enjoying myself. I was really engrossed in what was going on. I mean, I didn't understand half of it, but that wasn't the important part at that point, even though I do want to learn Spanish. So I even stayed later. Everybody, like other people had been leaving. I stayed in the group. I was so proud of myself, and that isn't something that I have for myself that often, because I'm really tough on myself, and that again goes back to childhood stuff. But I'd stayed in the group till the very end, and people were saying, like, so you have to sign up for the course. There has to be a certain amount of people take the course up, otherwise the course won't happen. But there was enough people there saying, no, I'm definitely going to sign up, definitely going to sign up. So I literally went to work the following morning, absolutely exhausted because I'd gone to bed so late. Went back in straight from work and signed up, paid for the course, and I was all excited. It was going to be starting the next week. And then I got an email. I think it was like on the Thursday. It was supposed to start on Monday. Thursday, got an email saying that, you know, answer these survey questions and maybe I could be entitled to some money off the course or something. And I thought, okay, I'll go on that in a minute because it's going to take a little while. And then I got another email probably a half hour later saying that they decided the course was done because there wasn't enough people signed up. And I was devastated. I thought, you know, one of those, why do I bother every time I try and do something? You know, one of those, you do that, don't you? And then it was a little while later, Corey had come in from work, and I was a little bit upset because I just got the message then. And he said, because he's very, very zoned into my moods and everything now. Because he understands, I think he understands a lot more than I realise. I don't think I say as much as I do. And he realises that, you know, I've gone through some stuff in the past that he doesn't know about, and I'm struggling. So he's always, you know, how are you? And I can't say okay, because if I just say okay, it's no, really, how are you? You know, he really wants to know. And I just told him about this, and, you know, a tear welled up because I just found out. And he gave me a huge cuddle and he said, it'll be all right. And then a little while later he came in and he said, I found this. I sent it to my friend because his friend was going through a tough time. And he said, I thought it might help you. And it was one of those motivational things saying, you know, if things go wrong, that's good, because that's not where you're supposed to be going. That's not your direction. So I thought, well, no, okay, I'll take that on board. And I was talking to one of the girls at work because I'd been telling her, and she told me about Duolingo. Now, I thought you had to pay for that, and you don't. So I signed up for it. And I've been doing online courses with Duolingo. Now, because of having this week off, I've started to obsessively do it, like literally all day. When I'm not got the TV, or in fact a lot of the time the TV's in the background now, I've just been on it for hours during the day, and I'm picking it up. I mean, I don't know if I could have a conversation with somebody because you have the words in front of you. Again, me not being confident in my own abilities. But I am officially learning Spanish. That was like a ridiculously long story to get to it. But, you know, I just wanted to, you know, sort of explain. I am going through a not very confident zone again. You know, like you see my videos where, oh, look at me, I'm so confident, I don't care what people think. And we're on a bit of a downhill at the moment. But we're still getting on. We're still doing stuff during the day. I mean, I say that now, I can't because of my stupid foot. Which is actually starting to hurt. And I'm not taking painkillers because for something like that, don't know how to explain it. I think if you get pain, it's telling you something. If I take a painkiller and then I get up and try to walk, because I've got to do a haul today, when I walk into the other room, if I don't feel the pain, I'm not going to react and then maybe make it worse, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But like I said, I do have a high pain threshold anyway. So, you know, it's manageable. It's just, it's starting to throb and I've not had that. So it's telling me something else. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go, aren't I? Anyway. So what else did I want to tell you? So you know a little bit about therapy. You know that I've had an injury this week and I am so fed up. Spanish. So yeah, long term is wanting to move away. There's things I need to achieve and do before that. It's not one of those you can just get up and go. I mean, some people can, but my financial status is not anywhere close to being able to do something like that. I also would have to make sure that it's within distance of me getting back to see the kids, because I will not abandon my children. I will not move away and it to be really hard for them to see me or me to see them. It's just, again, that's a childhood trauma thingy. So, you know, I'm not dissing anybody that does move away from their kids. That's just not it. I find I have to be very careful about my words and really explain myself properly, because some people take offence to things that are really not meant in an offensive way. Hello, so it's now Saturday morning. I thought I'd update you. I'd finish off the video with the update just so you know what's going on. Did end up going to hospital yesterday, so what I mean, I think it was sort of obvious that I didn't want to go. But I phoned 111, never used that service before. And the first thing it tells you is you can go online and do it. So I did it all online, but it was very generic questions that weren't really relevant to what I needed to know. So I phoned up. Actually, it was really decent experience.
wasn't waiting long for somebody to answer, and the gentleman went through, you know, the usual questions: how old are you, date of birth, and same thing, isn't it, name, that sort of stuff, and then asked questions about why I was phoning, took all the relevant details, took extra questions that weren't really relevant but they have to, and went and spoke to a clinician who then advised me that I should go to the urgent care unit or something like that. Anyway, it's just basically a GP's, but it's at the hospital. So it was really good that I did it that way. So I like I said, I've never used it before, didn't know how it was going to work. He made me an appointment there, which I didn't know you could do. I thought it was just like a walk into the, like, it's like accident emergency, but not, if you're not as, like, it's not an accident, it's not an emergency, then you would go to this other part. So they'd made me an appointment, got there early because I always do that anyway. So yeah, literally went to the receptionist, gave him the details, went and sat down. Within seconds I was called in. And you know, like, sometimes you don't realise at the time, but I feel like all of this has happened to get me to this point where I went into this hospital and I saw this nurse. So my foot's fine. It's just torn ligaments. I mean, I say it's just, I mean, torn ligaments hurt. It's just one of them. It'll heal when it heals, but it's nothing more, which is my main reason for going, was to see if maybe I'd done something worse and I didn't realise. And she said that it's actually pretty normal for people with torn ligaments, even if they don't come in to seek advice initially, they come in at about this stage because it does get worse. So everything's normal, everything's fine. But the first thing she did before she even looked at my foot is did my blood pressure, and apparently my blood pressure was through the roof, and I've never ever had an issue with my blood pressure. It's fine, my blood pressure is fine, it turns out. It was just one of those domino effects. So my blood pressure was up, she was concerned about that. She looked at my foot, examined my foot, asked details and everything, told me the foot was fine. And then we just started talking, and I think she was trying to calm me down to do my blood pressure again as well. Because I did explain that, you know, never had an issue with blood pressure, I get it done every 6 months, so everything's fine with that normally. But I had a mini meltdown, which was not expected. I got the severe shakes, like really, really bad shakes, and started crying for absolutely no reason. And straight away she said like she'd been through this, and she thinks that I am perimenopausal. And because I'm on the pill, I wouldn't necessarily know it. She said all the symptoms are there. She said she wants me to make an appointment with my GP and try and get on a mild dose of HRT, because she said literally it's changed her life. She's been on it for 3 months or something. So I feel like things have got me to this place. So I guess because of what I've been going through, I assumed that my emotions were all connected to grieving and you know, the therapy. You know, we've unearthed a lot of things from my past that I wasn't aware about, and I thought that's what all my emotions were about. I have been a lot warmer than usual. I'm sitting in my snuddy. It is cold in this room, and I'm actually quite warm, which is really unusual for me. This time of year I've usually got at least 2 pairs of socks on, I only have one. I know the little things, but for me I'm usually like massively cold all the time, and I'm not, and I am having hot sweats, which is a classic symptom of it. But you know, I just assume a lot of the symptoms I have, I always put down to fibro, because it's just really easy. There's so many different symptoms with fibro anyway, and once you've got it, it's just really easy to put everything down to that. And she said it will be a little bit more complicated. She's explained how to go about it, speak to the GP. I've already made the appointment, but I can't see somebody in person. It's just not a thing right now. So I'm going to get a phone call, and I've still got to wait for that, because I don't know. I don't understand it. Scott was having this conversation with me. He said he could be in front of a doctor within a day. So I don't know if it's like a postcode lottery with medical things or whatever. I don't know, but I've got a phone call, I've got to speak to that person. I'm just giving you this information just in case you're going through something like this. This might help you, because this is from the nurse. You know, she knows more what she's doing than I do about this. She said to explain it to them. She said that it will be a few questions and they should just give me the HRT. Don't know much about that, so I'll start researching that, obviously. And she said she reckons it will change my life. You know, if I speak to the GP and he's very dismissive, then I'm supposed to ask for the menopause specialist. Apparently every surgery should have one. If they don't, they should refer me to one. Don't just go with the doctor saying no, it's not what you're going through or whatever, and just being dismissed, because apparently this is like a really not discussed subject. I didn't really notice. I mean, I've not ever paid attention, honestly. I've just not. The girls at work always tell me, oh, this is what you're going to go through, this is what you're going to go through, and I keep thinking, yeah, I have a lot of them symptoms, but I always thought it's fibro, so there you go. The girls at work are very informed in what's going on, and they will help me through it, I'm sure. I'm actually a little bit excited that maybe a lot of my emotions might level out a little bit. My brain fog might clear a little bit. So I feel like, even though, you know, falling and I'm in pain and I've had a week off and I'm bored stiff and frustrated that I can't move when I want to move and stuff, this is why it happened, to get me to this place where I spoke to this nurse. So it's a little bit exciting, a little bit apprehensive, I guess, as well, because I don't really know. I mean, you know, being in menopause symptoms and stuff isn't something to be excited about, but possibly things are going to change. I've got an appointment Wednesday to speak to the GP, so I won't know any more right now. But I wanted to share that with you, so you know everything's fine, the foot's fine. I've got to, you know, rest, but I've still got to move it around. I've got to do some exercises to keep the strength up in my foot. Everything's fine with it. I mean, I do have a high pain threshold anyway, honestly, so I mean, I have not taken any painkillers through the entire thing. Most people probably would have, but I can deal with the pain. And for me, this is just a me thing, because my pain threshold is so high, I will deal with a lot of pain before I take a painkiller, because, you know, with fibro, you're in pain all the time anyway. If I keep taking painkillers every time I have a little bit of pain, then when I do need the painkillers, they're not going to work. That's the way I am. It's not one of them, oh, I'm not going to take it because I don't believe in putting rubbish in my body. I mean, most people don't believe in it, but then I'm not a skinny mini. I obviously put some rubbish in my body, so, you know, that isn't the reason. It's just that when I do need them, I want them to work, so I'm not going to abuse them. And I can manage with the pain. If I can manage with it, then there's no need. So everything's good. I feel like we were meant to be here at this point. It's nice when you see that, you know, because when you go through rubbish, you know, life is rubbish most of the time. You know, you have your ups and downs. When you're going through down, it's hard to see where you was going, and now I can see why we had to go through me falling over and all that stuff. So things are good. We have a little bit of hope. My emotions are definitely, I thought it was what I'm going through, plus, like I said, I'm not seeing my therapist last week. Normally that's like my release, and I didn't have it, so I thought I'm just getting a build up and it's going to be normal for the next, I'm not going to see him now for not this Monday, the following Monday. So I thought it was just okay, it's going to build up, it's normal, just have a cry, whatever, get it out. But apparently not. Hopefully everything is like, this nurse, she seemed to really know what she was talking about. We had a really long chat. She did do my blood pressure 2 more times after that. As we was talking, she said I could see her relaxing, so she would do it again, and it went down really quick. So it was just, I'd built everything up and got really nervous and tense, and I didn't actually realise it wasn't like a conscious thing. I thought I was fine. I was just going to the hospital and getting a checkup. It wasn't a big deal to me. It was just a make sure everything was okay. So it wasn't like I didn't feel like I was, but apparently my body was responding in that way. So everything's good. I wanted to just, I know, wow, I've just talked another 10 minutes. This is gonna be a long video. I wanted to come on and just update you on it, I guess, to let you know everything's fine and we're doing okay at the moment. Okay, so I'm gonna go now, talking rubbish, so we're done. I mean, I know I talk rubbish all the time, but you know, there's rubbish and there's rubbish. I'm joking, before anybody says like, I know. So I am sending out good vibes as I always do. I hope you're catching some, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.